First pitch coming from Hammond, wind up, and that one swung past third base side, going past shortstop and into left field. One pitch, and Stony Brook immediately with a runner on. Jordan Herring slapping an opposite field single.
Well, it didn't take that long for the game to start just like that, and what a great start for Jordan Herring.
Jordan Herring batting .360 on the season, entering today's contest, leads the team in at-bats with 140, leads the team with 30 runs scored and 50 hits. 1-1 attempt here as Kyrie McFarland steps in the batter's box. She, the left-hander, goes for the quick slap hit, but fouls that one back. 0-1 count.
Well, it looks like McFarland is already trying to do a little quick action to try and get Herring to second. Maybe a little sacrifice to start off this game.
Yeah, McFarland, the designated slap hitter, essentially similar to the bunt in baseball. And goes on for another slap attempt. At this one, she pulls it back, and it's a wild pitch to the backstop. That one gets past the catcher, and Herring advances to second on the strike.
Well, it looks like McFarland didn't have to do anything on that play. She just had to let Hammond make her own mistake with an errant throw over to her catcher.
Hammond with the low throw. That one bit the dirt, slid past Petrella, and by the time Petrella got to the ball, Herring was on second. So runner in scoring position, 1-1 count officially. Here's the windup. And pitch downloads, catches the left part of the strike zone. 1-2 count for McFarland.
She was also showing bunt on that at bat as well, so she really is desperate to try and do something. Of course, you know in softball that when they go for those bunts like that, they usually go for an immediate run.
1-2 coming. McFarland swinging. High pitch, gets the bat on it, slaps this one over the third base side, foul. So 1-2 again. McFarland named to the conference all-rookie team yesterday. The 3-time conference rookie of the year. Wind-up coming. Just gets enough of this one. Chops it foul as she attempted to swing and tried to hold back. By the time the left-hand batter did, it made contact towards the middle of the bat. Slapped out of play.
McFarland, she is really trying to slap as much as she can. She has gotten 24 hits this year, looking to get her 25th of the season.
Hammond, wind up. This one thrown towards the middle, slapped high, and over the third base dugout again. So the sixth pitch of the at-bat for McFarland coming up.
Well, it looks like that was already 6 pitches. McFarland fouling on the last few.
And McFarland doing a great job staying alive in this one. As a quick stoppage in play as one of the UAlbany coaches, I believe that is Coach Canada, pausing, taking a quick chat with one of the Great Danes, I believe Hammond, discussing something with the umpire. Alright, some words were shared there. Perhaps something, the only thing I could assume is involving something being in the pitcher circle, perhaps reminding her to stay in, keep her feet in, as she delivers her pitch. Hammond now wiping the ball on her pants, goes in the windup, delivers. That one swung on and missed. McFarland trying to swing high upstairs. That one sails by her bat, and UAlbany gets a 1 out as Stony Brook still with a runner on second.
A good battle won by Wendy Hammond after McFarland was slapping on the last few pitches. McFarland couldn't slap one there.
First pitch for Melissa Roberts, and that one thrown high, past the right part of the plate for a ball. 1-0. Melissa Roberts, the senior out of Brighton, Colorado. First team all-conference once again. And the slugger recently passing Shayla Giosa. Pitch swung on, chopped past the third base side to the Stony Brook dugout. Foul. 1-1 count. So saying past Shayla Giosa for the program's career RBI record against UMBC back on May 7th.
I wonder what it will be like when you do a foul ball right near your own dugout, but not near the opponent's dugout.
Send in your teammates souvenirs. Well, you got to remember, as Roberts takes his pitch past the right part of the plate, ball, 2-1 count. The dugouts, especially in softball, they're at full cages. Pitch swung on. Roberts hits the grounder past the third base side, foul. I'll say you got the high dugouts, so giving extra protection to her teammates. You don't have those short porches like we see in baseball. Runner on second, 2-2 count coming for Roberts. 1 out, pitch upstairs, middle part of the plate, middle part of the zone, but over the top part of the plate. So full count coming for the Seawolves best slugger, slugging .632 on the season, has drawn 16 walks. This one swung on, hit past the left field side, out of play. Just missed an extra base hit opportunity there. And Zach Roberts staying alive. The Seawolves batters making Hammond work this inning.
Yeah, they sure are. With one out so far and a full count pitch upcoming to Melissa Roberts. They're trying to toy around with her to put a little early pressure on her.
Hammond with the wind-up pitch. This one hit hard towards the left field side. And I believe this one is over the porch. Home run! Melissa Roberts doing damage fast for Stony Brook. Getting them off to a quick 2-0 lead with a home run over the left field wall. That one was a missile, Zach.
Oh, a missile indeed. You can't expect anything less from the 2019 America East Softball Player of the Year. And how about that to start things off?
Melissa Roberts wasting no time. Again, Stony Brook really struggled getting runs on the board. Did not get a single run in the first inning in their 3 prior appearances. Wasting no time here with the slugger Roberts hitting her 7th home run. Team-leading 7th home run of the season. Giving Stony Brook a 2-0 lead, 1 out here at the top of the first. McCarville stepping up to the plate. The right-hander takes the pitch, as that one is thrown in the dirt. Past the right side of the plate, 1-0 count. And Zach, Melissa Roberts just smoked that one. Caught the middle part of the plate, and that's not where you want to throw it against a monster in the plate like Melissa.
Lucky number 7 for Melissa Roberts in home runs this year. Already makes it 32 RBIs, and that's already calling for a quick mound visit between Petrella and Hammond.
For Hammond, already 3 batters faced, 2 runs surrendered. Did strike out McFarland, but again surrendering 2 hits. 2-0 lead here at the top of the first as Nicole McCarville in the plate for a 1-0 count. Hammond, here's the windup and the pitch. That one just catches the bottom right part of the plate for a strike. Carville will step out the box, test her swing.
For Nicole McCarville, it's their 40th start of the season.
1-1. This one thrown downstairs below the knees. Again, keeping this one away from her the batter. Keeping on the right part of the plate. Still missing outside. 2-1. Hammond back in the windup. Quick stretch. Carville swings at this one. Hits it foul to the Stony Brook dugout. 2-2 on the way.
I wonder how many more souvenirs that the Seawolves will try and give right here, because that's what usually happens with the right-handed batters. You usually foul it along the left side of the third base line. And that Stony Brook is there today.
16th pitch of the first inning coming. And McCarville swings at this one. Hits it hard as it sails in between first base and right field, past the outside wall, goes out of play. 2-2 count for Nicole Carville. Again, 16 pitches, Zach, through 4 batters. Hammond delivers 17. This one, try to check her swing, but just gets enough on it as it sails past the second base side, in between center right field. McCarville going past first, show hustle in the second, and gets in there. Just beats the throw. No tag was applied, and McCarville continuing the carousel of base runners for Stony Brook, get it on with a 1-out double here at the top of the first, Zach.
That was just a great job by McCarville to find a hole between the second base play, like along the right side of the second base, and really only Alexis Phillips was able to pick it up after it went off the wall.
And Nowakowski gets in the box, and this one's hit hard past second base side, going to the center field wall, and Nowakowski rounding first, gets in the second, she'll slide in safely, that'll score the runner, and McCarville touching home, a 3-0 lead through 5 batters here at UMBC Field. Stony Brook out to a 3-0 lead with 1 out the top of the first.
Well, Stony Brook really wanted this start to the game, and this start they shall have. Really feeling the energy after Roberts' 2-run homer and Nowakowski's RBI double, and already it's a quick visit even more.
Yeah, the entire infield now checking up on their pitcher. Coach Knat also discussing strategy with her. And Zach, we talked about the importance of Stony Brook getting out to a hot start and, again, getting those hits. They really struggled against UAlbany pitching throughout much of the series. What's going right for them in this contest so far?
Well, they're really being able to keep their eye on the ball, Ryan. They're looking for the right angle to put it on. They're finding. We've been seeing a lot. We've been seeing over the last 2 hits for Stony Brook that they found that hole along the right side of the second base, and that's really making it very hard for Katie Falotico to try and dive for that one. Almost looked like on that last at-bat that she had a chance to make it a pop-out, but she just really couldn't get there in time.
So 4 of the 5 Seawolves batters have gotten a hit. McFarland, the only one who struck out. Seawolves 2 of 3 to start with runners in scoring position. That will bring up Brooke Dye to the plate with Nowakowski on second. We'll see if Hammond gets her composure. Immediately, back-to-back strikes catching the right part of the plate. So now Dye quickly in the 0-2 hole.
Well, the fact is for Hammond that she wants to get out of this inning. She's starting to face the bottom of the starting lineup for Stony Brook.
And this one swung on, hit towards third base side, just foul before it reaches the bag. And so Dye will get another chance, as that one was maybe a step or 2 away of being an out in the mitt of Barkovich. 0-2 coming, this one low and inside. Dye stays patient, watches it.
Dye sees it goes up high.
Yeah, that one high and inside, so a 1-2 count for Hammond. Top of the first, 1 out. 1-2 coming, this one chopped to the backstop. Foul ball. It seems every at-bat, Zach, the Seawolves, especially trailing behind in the count, are able to stay alive by chopping some balls foul.
The Seawolves really had to stop the first going for just about almost 15 minutes, it would seem.
1-2 coming. This one hit hard back to the right side. And that one misplayed by the second baseman. And that one is misplayed again. So an error on the second baseman. And as a result, runners now at the corners, still with 1 out. Seawolves again capitalizing off the UAlbany mistake.
Man, that was just so unfortunate for Falotico. It was bad enough that she couldn't really get the balls when it was in the hole along the right side of second base, and now she can't even be able to pick up a clean catch. That could have been pretty much the beginning for her to get out of the way.
And immediately after that, a pitch towards to the backstop against the left-handed Craig. That will advance Dye to second base. Nowakowski still on third. Seawolves now really brewing a potential more scoring after already driving home 3 runners. And they'll see a pause in the action as Hammond again lost her composure, and it brings up another meeting to the mound with Petrella as she tries to calm down her battery mate.
I don't know whether or not this is going to be the end of Hammond. Yeah, I mean, if this continues up, we may start to see Brianna Garrett come in.
1-0 on the way for Craig as she swings on and misses that one. Craig with a pitch, or rather with a swing at the top part of the strike zone. That pitch sank to the middle. It's been virtually all fast pitches, all fastballs for Hammond as we see the 1-1 on the way. That one is slow pitch, change up. Catches middle part of the plate, but is fouled over the Stony Brook dugout by Craig. 1-2 now for the senior out of Thornton, Colorado. 1-2 coming. This one swung on towards the backstop. Might be room for Petrella to catch this one. We'll see. And, just misses out. Not enough room there at the backstop. If that backstop was maybe an inch or 2 wider, Petrella had enough room to extend her glove out. So Craig now with another opportunity.
Another unfortunate break for you all, but they can't seem to catch anything yet.
Wind up pitch. This one downstairs below the knees. Past the left part of the plate for a ball. 2-2 here.
Man, Hammond's really struggling in the top of the first. It's just been really hard for her, being the star pitcher for the Great Danes this year.
2-2 on the way. This one swung on inside as Craig sails this one. Past first base, past the wall, foul.
I appreciate the foul balls that Stony Brook has been laying on Hammond here in the top of the first. That's really forcing her to stay at the circle for a little while more than she would have expected.
Yes, he will staying alive in this contest with their at-bats. The 2-2 coming by Hammond. She goes in the windup with the underhand. This one swung on, chops to the infield, and I believe gets through the second and shortstop. That'll drive home Nowakowski, and with that ground ball sailing to center field, runners at the corners again as the Seawolves extend their lead to 4-0 off of the single by Riley Craig.
Riley Craig getting in on the action too. The seventh batter, and now you get number 8 coming up.
Shauna Nuss now in the plate. First pitch swing. She tips this one to the glove, as that one was down and away for a strike. 4-0 lead for the Seawolves. 5 hits already through their first 7 batters. Only 1 out here, and still the top of the first. Nuss takes this one just outside the right part of the plate.
That's actually Juliana Sanzone, who is at bat right now. She wears number 15.
Yep, just got ahead of myself. Nuss coming up next. Sanzone, named to the all-rookie team last season. And this one is batted hard to the right side, and I believe that one drops in between the first baseman and the right fielder. That'll drive home another run, and another mistake by the Great Danes is capitalized by the Seawolves as Stony Brook extends their lead to 5 off of the bloop hit, driving home Brook Dye.
And the runs and the hits just continue to pile on for Stony Brook. They have 6 hits in the top of the first here alone. 6 hits, 5 runs. It's a nightmare for Wendy Hammond.
The Seawolves, their highest scoring game was 3. Let's just double check that. It was 2. They did it twice against the Great Danes this season. As a result, here, the highest the Great Danes scored was 6, and even that was off of a game-winning grand slam. 5 runs, the most either team has put up against another in a single inning this season, beating out UAlbany's game-winning grand slam back on May 1st, and that was in the 8th inning. And with that, it'll spell the end of Wendy Hammond, and that'll bring on Brianna Garrett to the mound with the Seawolves up 5-0, and only 1 out here at the top of the first.
Man, this was just really rough, but already the fire that the Seawolves are really just starting to pick up here in Baltimore. This is what they really want to do, as they could we'll see whether or not this could probably see if they can really put that pressure on UMBC too, making Stony Brook look fired up and ready for revenge after they dropped the series to them last weekend.
I don't think this was a start anyone predicted, Zach. What do you credit to the success of the Stony Brook's hot start today?
Getting the hits that they need, being able to work it with the players that are on base too. We've seen players like Nowakowski, Dye, and Herring up at base, and then you need to see them being brought home, and that's exactly what Stony Brook has been capable of doing so far.
And this will bring up Shauna Nuss as Brianna Garrett's first pitch. Slap hit attempt by Nuss, the left-handed batter. She chops this one foul. So an 0-1 count with runners on the corners. Just to bring back the scoring for you, Melissa Roderick started the scoring carousel by homering just over the left field wall in a full pitch count, driving home herself and Jordan Herring. Jordan Nowakowski doubled in right field, bringing home Nicole McCarville. Riley Craig singled up the middle, advancing Brook Dye to third, scoring Nowakowski. And Sanzone's blooper advanced Riley Craig, who's on third now, and scored Brook Dye. 1-1 coming, this one outside. So Garrett immediately working the left part of the plate, but missing the strike zone. Falls behind 2-1.
She has a chance to get her team out of this inning with a player on first and second. Has a chance to force a ground out into a double play.
2 runners on, 2-1 coming. This one again outside. Nuss trying to go for the slap hit. Pulls the bat back as she approached the ball. Stayed in the zone. With that, a 3-1 count. And I think the last thing you want here is loading up the bases. 3-1 on the way, and Ness will just flick this one inside just past the pitcher, going to the shortstop, and by the time they get a glove on it, Ness is ready at first. Shauna Nuss with the infield hit, advancing the runners from second to third and first to second, and bringing up Jordan Herring with bases loaded and only 1 out.
What a great at-bat for Shauna Nuss. She was able to time the hit on with her bat perfectly, and there was not really any chance for Drumgali to get a clean pickup in time.
The Seawolves have batted around Jordan Herring, who started off the game and got on base. First pitch swing, fouls this one towards the backstop, and the left-hander not going for a slap hit, although she was an expert at it. Seawolves still lead 5-0 and threatening for more runs. Herring behind in the count 0-1. Again, started off the game with a hit, as the Seawolves have batted around. 7 of 9 overall, the Seawolves are. 3 extra base hits. And this is another pitch well outside. When essentially where the right-handed batter's box is where Petrola had to go out just to keep that ball from going behind her.
Garrett's having a hard time trying to play this in relief of Hammond.
1-1 coming, as that one again misses the outside part of the plate. And now for the second straight batter, after starting 0-1, Garrett falls behind 2-1.
I don't know what Brianna Garrett's going to have to do in order to get out of this.
Garrett going quick with the windup as Herring just checks her swing as the home plate umpire checks with the third base umpire. There's a 3-1 count as that pitch was outside the zone. Herring went for it and just held back.
I suggest he doesn't swing here. Even if it's a strike, so be it.
3-1 coming, and Herring doesn't swing on it, just nips the inside part of the plate against the left-hander. So a full count here against the contact hitter of Herring. Herring has gone 3 for 4 against UAlbany this season. That was in the 3-1 loss. Full pitch coming. This one swung on, hit hard towards the center field wall. We'll see if runners... And the UAlbany misplays it. And with another error, that will drive home a pair of Seawolves runs. Wow. Another mistake by the Great Danes, and that will drive home 2 runners, making this a 7-0 game, still with only 1 out in the top of the first.
Craig and Sanzone brought home after... I don't think that the Great Danes were looking good at being able to beat the Sun on that.
Another error, I believe, for the Great Danes. We'll see the score, and that one again was hit out towards the center field wall. It was obviously going to stay in the ballpark. It wasn't hit strong enough to beat that, but Phillips, I think the senior, just misplaced that. And another slap hit inside as they wait for as this one rolls just out of play. That'll be a foul ball.
Man, this is...
Petrella doing the wise thing of waiting for that ball to roll out of bounds, or roll past the foul line on third base side. Zach?
Well, this is just pretty much the second straight series for Stony Brook against their conference opponent, where they have really gotten off to a great start. 11 runs against UMBC on Friday.
0-1 coming. This one chopped hard towards the left field side. Finally able to get the out is Phillips. That'll drive home a run, though, for the Seawolves. As now the runner backs to second. Ball gets away. And that will advance Jordan Herring, who tagged up from first to second, advance her all the way over to third with 2 outs here. Wow, Stony Brook doing damage, extending the lead to 8-0 with Melissa Roberts up to bat and a runner on third.
And another circle visit for the Great Danes. And that's a third one, or probably even the fourth one here in the top of the first.
Yeah, third one with Coach Kanata, of course. Petrola had a couple just trying to calm down Garrett, who left early after about 25 pitches. Let's get the numbers on her. Officially, she will be charged with... for Hammond, she was charged for 6 of the earned runs. As 1 run has been assigned to Brianna Garrett already. As Melissa Roberts steps up to the plate for the second time in the inning. Stony Brook leads 8-0. She takes a pitch inside. Roberts homer to start the scoring just over the left field wall. And as a reminder, since it is an 8-run lead for the Seawolves, if they're able to maintain that, they can win via the mercy rule in the 5th inning. Roberts takes another pitch outside. 2-0 count for Melissa.
I wonder how much more pressure that would put on Bodrick if she really wants to have this game end earlier than they would have expected.
Bodrick, the lone Seawolf, we have not seen this inning. Of course, she is used solely as a pitcher, not really given many, if any, opportunities to hit on the season, unlike Melissa Roberts. As a result, Stony Brook using the DH in Brooke Dye. It has worked, obviously. 2-1 count for Roberts.
I'm looking at the Seawolves right now at the dugout. They are really just having so much fun enjoying the lead.
Yeah, it's been a while for them. Of course, struggling as Roberts hits this one hard past the left field wall. This one is sailing and going and just out of play. Roberts about 10 or so feet from the foul pole. Just missed her second home run of the inning.
She just continues to get very explosive and putting a lot more of that pressure on UAlbany, really trying to stand back after Bodrick could not get that win her last start against him.
2-2 coming as Gary shakes off the pitch. She throws this one past the right part of the zone for a ball and a full count for Roberts.
Herring at third with 2 out. scoreboard's only showing 1 out, but it is 2 because of McFarland's sacrifice fly.
And 3-2 swinging. This one hit towards third baseman. She'll pick that one up. Throw over the first. And that one in time. The Great Danes mercifully get out of that inning, but not before the Seawolves pile on 8 first-inning runs against the Great Danes, giving Dawn Baldrick a lot of insurance to work with at the bottom of the first. So with that middle of the first, Stony Brook up 8-0, Zach.
Yeah, this is just a really firing start to this game that really, just said before, nobody expecting, and all the runs and the hits. This is exactly what I was just talking about. I guess the only thing that you could say is that Herring was at third. You could probably try to get at least one more hit to try and bring her home, because the next one was about probably less than 90 feet there, but still, everything else was perfect for Stony Brook, getting those 8 runs and 8 hits in the top of the first inning, and we'll see if whether, and we don't really see how Bodrick is going to give up that many runs.
Some more numbers for you. Stony Brook hit 727 at the top of the first. That's 8 of their 11 batters getting a hit, including batting 667 with runners on and runners in scoring position. They batted 4 for 4 with runners on third, and there being less than 2 outs, and were able to obviously bring home the carousel with bases loaded. 8 of 10 on their advancement opportunities. Zach, has this offense looked any better than how they are right now?
Well, they had not had a start to a game this season than this. And really, they just want to really show that when it comes to the playoffs, Stony Brook is very dangerous. They're already really making things look very screwy on UAlbany. And we'll see if whether, and I'm sure this could really give them the confidence they need playing tomorrow if they're able to hold on and have the right to take on UMBC.
And remember, Stony Brook leading 8-0. Should they retain a lead of 8 runs or more, they would be able to win via the mercy rule through 5 innings. Obviously, give some extra rest to their players, including Dawn Baldrick, who is in the pitcher circle, getting ready for her first pitch. This one, off-speed pitch on the outside part of the zone against the left-handed hitting Phillips, taken for a strike.
This should be an interesting start to the bottom of the first between the Seawolves and the Great Danes, the righty versus lefty.
0-1 wind-up, slap hit. This one lined foul in between third base side and the left-handed or right-handed batter's box.
Could have been close for either Nowakowski or Craig to pick that up, but it seemed like even if Craig was going to pick that up, if it was fair, she may not have a good throw to Rodrich. Of course, we'll never know. Alexis Phillips,
coming in, batting .271. Her 37 games played. 0-2 coming. This one taken, pitch high, above the zone. 1-2 for Baldrick.
Well, Phillips, we're going to have to try and do the same thing that Stony Brook did in the top of the first, which is try and wear out the pitcher. But if Baldrick can really get more of those strikeouts going, then it's not going to be effective for UAlbany.
1-2 on the way, as this one sails past the third base side foul. Out of play. A lot of fouls hit towards the Stony Brook dugout. But you're right, Zach. Again, really wearing down the pitcher, especially on those 1-2 counts, which Stony Brook did so well at the top half of the inning.
Yeah, they really got it down right.
Baldrick sees the sign from Nowakowski. Wind up, pitch, swung on, and missed strike 3. Baldrick catching Phillips swinging with the off-speed pitch down the middle of Broadway for 1 out.
A better start to the game for Stony Brook than for Stony Brook pitching than it was for UAlbany.
That's for sure. They were not that they were concerned about it, but it's definitely something in the back of their minds. I was hoping that they get off to a better start. Sure enough, they do it. 4:05 here at WSB Studios. You're listening to WSB Stony Brook 90.1 and W297BM Stony Brook 107.3 FM. Ken Fermin, Zach Wilson here, calling America East first round softball action between the Seawolves and the Great Danes. Stony Brook up 8-0 after an 8-run first inning performance by the lineup. Baldrick now with the pitch, and that one outside against the left-handed batter, and quickly in the hole against Mitros. 2-0 count.
This could be a little more tough for Baldrick, since Mitros is actually the best batter for UAlbany this year, batting at .396.
It's a great point, Zach. 40 hits, leads the team as tries to slap hit this one down the line. Goes in foul territory before it's able to cross third base. 2-1 count.
Mitros hasn't even The only problem for Mitros so far this year is that she has not gotten a single home run despite being the best batter on the team, which is very odd.
Yeah, their designated slap hitter, 2-1. This one tries a hit, misses as it was well outside, but caught her chasing, so it's a 2-2 count on Mitros.
The best thing that Mitros has done this year is being able to pick up a couple of doubles. She has gotten 9 RBIs.
2-2 to the switch hitter, swung on and missed. Strike 3. That one eerily reminiscent of the pitch to Phillips, an off-speed down Broadway, and Baldra quickly with 2 strikeouts to start her first inning adventures.
Despite the batting average and how many starts and games played that Mitros has had this year, the fact that she only hasn't even gotten double-digit RBIs yet tells a different story.
Here in the 3 spot, Morgan Petty with 2 outs. First pitch takes this one, just nips the inside part of the plate against the right-hander for a called strike. Petty, one of 5 batters on the Great Danes lineup, hitting over 300 on the season. Zach, what does that really tell you about this Great Danes lineup?
Well, it's that they have all the batting power that they need to play, and this has given them quite a good season to look at, being half a game ahead of Stony Brook to finish the regular season.
That's a great point. It was a very close battle to the end as she takes the pitch high upstairs, ball 1. Of course, Stony Brook, UMBC, UAlbany, to those final couple weeks, it looked like any one of those teams would have home field advantage. For a long time, it looked like Stony Brook. This one swung on, hit hard towards the right field side, and will stay in play. And getting under that is the right fielder Nuss for Stony Brook to end the inning. It's 3 up, 3 down for the Great Danes as Stony Brook secures its 8-0 lead through 1 inning of work at UMBC Field. Ken Fermin and Zach Wilson calling the action from beautiful WUSB Studios, and we'll send it to a quick commercial break. If you're here at the America East first round matchup between the Stony Brook Seawolves and UAlbany Great Danes. Seawolves up to an 8-0 lead. Yeah, that's right. Only the top of the second inning. For those of you just turning in, Seawolves scored 8 runs on 8 hits and error, and only left 1 on base at the top half of the inning, and win a perfect 1-2-3 in the bottom half against the Great Danes. And with that, we'll see Brianna Garrett's second inning of work on the mound, taking over for Wendy Hammond, who went through 7 batters, only got 1 out, and is just on the hook for the loss if UAlbany does not come back. First pitch here to Nowakowski, taking on the outside for a ball.
It's a strike.
Sorry for a strike. Nowakowski 1 for 1 on the day so far. She hit a double her last time up. This one swung on, hit hard towards center field. Center fielder getting under it, almost lost her balance, is able to recover and get underneath just in time, securing it to her glove. And with that, immediate out for UAlbany. You know, they're real happy about that with Phillips getting the out after the carousel that scored last inning for Stony Brook.
Well, she looked good with that readjustment, and that really gave her what she needed to try and get things a little quick.
Nowakowski now to the plate. She takes a strike, catching the outside part of the plate.
Well, it seems like Stony Brook has probably done for a little while, getting a little heated up. There's no need to get too heated up yet.
Yeah, that first inning for Stony Brook, batting-wise, took just about half an hour, just under it. Only needed about 2.5 minutes to settle in the bottom half of the inning. Quickly behind is Nowakowski, 0-2, 1/2 of the battery duel with pitcher Don Baldrick. And Nowakowski fouls this one over the UAlbany dugout for once.
Well, this is Brianna Garrett's second season with the team, and she's not a sophomore, actually. She is a junior. She first went to Antelope Valley College and it's pretty much the Melissa Rarich of her team.
0-2, high and upstairs. Ball, 1-2.
For Garrett, at Antelope, she was hitting .345 with 4 home runs, 33 RBIs, and 66 games over the 2 seasons she's played there.
1-2 pitch coming. This one swung on and missed, strike 3. So Garrett gained her first strikeout of the inning, I believe of the game as well, as Nowakowski chopped on it. Let's see, chopped on, tried swinging that one as she tipped into the batter's glove. So that pitch was down low in the zone. Bring up the next batter as Leah's Dye takes that one for a strike down the middle. And Zach, I thought you brought up a great point, noting that Garrett, again, transferring, coming from that that background, what do you think it adds on to the pressure of this being her first experience of postseason action? Before you answer that, this one swung it hard towards right field, and getting under that is Petty, and she makes the catch. So Zach, hold on to that for a moment. With that, Stony Brook is retired, so much cleaner inning for the Great Danes in the circle after the scoring really came up for the Seawolves. No hits, no runs, no errors, no one left on base. Seawolves down in order in the top half of the inning as the Great Danes look to drive home a run or two in the bottom half.
So what I was going to say about right there, Ken, is that for Brianna Garrett playing in her first Division I conference tournament game is that she did a not too bad of a job being able to try and clean up as much as she could that Wendy Hammond had trouble with there in the last inning in the top of the first. She just wanted to get out there, and you kind of were almost expecting her to be a starting pitcher for this game, and it seemed like that's exactly how it should have been, because if that was the case, this game could probably be less than it is.
Yeah, Wendy Hammond, 19 appearances on the season. Brianna Garrett, this her 16th. Interestingly, though, Wendy Hammond only one more start over Brianna Garrett. She has 13, while Garrett has 12. So it really could have gone down to either player. That would be premiering in the circle. Obviously, they went with Wendy Hammond. Looking at the sheets, last time Hammond faced Stony Brook, she shut them out 2-0. Complete game shutout, 5 strikeouts and 25 batter faced. Induced 8 groundouts. Was unable to replicate that success in this contest. Although, again, should be noted, Brianna Garrett also shut out the Stony Brook Seawolves didn't shut them out, but also did pitch a complete game and got a victory in that 6-2 victory back on May 1st. Meanwhile, Dawn Baldrig in the circle and wind up pitch down low just over the knees, called a strike by the umpire. 1-0 count and forced to the number 4 batter, Petrella, and Madison Petrella in the batter's box. Battery mate for Garrett and Hammond. Well, now Garrett, as she swings on this one, as misses, so called strike. Petrella quickly behind 0-2 to Baldrig. And looking at Petrella's numbers, one of the 5 300-plus hitters for UAlbany, as the 0-2 was taken in the dirt for a called ball. Madison leads the team with 8 doubles and 37 runs batted in. One of 2 players with over 30 RBIs on the season. Second on the team with 68 total bases behind Morgan Petty. As this one looks like just hits the left knee of Petrella, and immediately UAlbany with a runner on to start at the bottom of the second. So UAlbany having a much better affair here in this second inning than they did to start the first. They're getting their first base runner of the game. No hits surrendered in the top half by Baldrig, as she will go to work against Barkovich. And first pitch, this one swung on, hit hard, and just drops in right field. And it's going to be immediately picked up as throw over to second, not in time. So immediately, UAlbany now cooking up potential scoring opportunity. 2 runners on, no outs, and bringing up Miranda Jimenez to the plate.
Well, it looks like this is something that UAlbany could really capitalize on here after Petrella was hit by that pitch and Barkovich getting that quick base hit. I was going to say before a little while ago that after they were able to force a 1-2-3 on Stony Brook in the last inning, they can try and work up something here.
First pitch swung on and lined to the backstop near where our camera is. Foul ball.
Baldrig already looking a little pressured as there is a player on first and second with no out, but it's going to take a lot more than that for UAlbany to come back.
Miranda Jimenez batting .320 on the season. 0-1, another ball. Tipped foul towards the back fence. Jimenez falls behind 0-2.
Well, Jimenez wants to get a little better work. She is very adamant about being able to smack that ball, averaging .319 on the team and making her 32nd start of the season.
That's a great point. Third best hitter by batting average for the Great Danes. 0-2 coming. This one down low, just below the knees. Nowakowski getting in her throwing stance. preventing runners from advancing, perhaps testing if they were going to try to steal. Of course, unlike baseball, not allowed to steal a base until after the pitch is thrown and caught by the batter.
I think what Baldrick wants to do here first is just get the strikeout. She prefers that over the ground out.
Already with 2 on the game, this one low, just missed the right part of the zone. Was low and away, keeping it away from Jimenez's sweet spot inside. As now Jimenez has worked the count back to 2-2 by taking a couple of close pitches.
So more that she can try and draw on Baldrick.
Baldrug, the windup, another pitch hit hard but fouled over the Stony Brook dugout, sailing far towards past the left field pole, out of play.
It's a good looking at bat for Jimenez so far. Even though she is the third best batter on the team, she is batting 6th right now today, and I think she deserves to be at higher.
2-2 coming. That one thrown high, well over the glove of Nowakowski, and the wild pitch, a rare one by Baldrug, advances the runners and puts 2 runners in scoring position for Jimenez with a full count on the line. And for Baldrug, that one only her 12th wild pitch thrown this season, and in her 24 appearances and 104 3 innings of work. So that really, again, it's a rarity. You're not really seeing that. You're only seeing maybe 1 a game, if that. Full count pitch swung on, hit hard, in between the hole, between first and second. That'll drive home 1 run. And we'll see Petrella cross the home plate, and Jimenez with an RBI single.
Sure that she could stay on the at the plate for as long as she could, and she was able to get the end result she wanted by giving the Great Danes their first run in the game.
And quickly now, this one fouled.
Valentico.
Back wall, 0-1 count here for Stony Brook. Or rather, for the batter of UAlbany in Politico. 8-1 lead for the Seawolves. No outs here at the bottom of the second. Baldrug with the windup. Pitch high and upstairs. Away from the batter. A 1-1 count for Katie Politico.
Well, Baldrug had some chances to get out of this inning, but she really needed to try and get a little more work done because the UAlbany bats may start to get heated up.
And this one swung on and missed as Politico swinging high. That pitch dropped well low below the knees. And that changeup for Baldrug, putting her ahead 1 in the count 1-2 against Politico.
It almost looked like they had a chance to hit Valentico, but she had to swing on that one instead.
1-2 coming, swung on and missed for strike 3. And just for extra pressure, Kowski's going to throw over to first to keep Jimenez there. She's not going anywhere.
Lucky break.
Yeah, it's Baldrug now, her 3rd strikeout of the afternoon, as kind of not erasing, but limiting some potential damage forced by the Great Danes offense. Zach.
Well, Stony Brook if Baldrug can hold them to only 1 run here, then that would be lucky.
As first pitch to Tara Driver.
It's pretty interesting because Hammond and Garrett do have their times this year where they do bat, but it seems like the head coach just wants to get more options other than the pitchers who can bat.
0-1 swung on and missed. Heater towards the middle, or rather through the middle part of this plate.
Driver averaging 255 so far this year. She does have 17 RBIs made.
And Driver missed some time due to injury towards the middle part of the season. Didn't play too much against Stony Brook. This one swung on underneath as she carries this pitch over the back fence. Foul. Staying alive in this at-bat is Driver.
So you have another opportunity for Baldrug to try and get out of this inning soon enough.
Well, Baldrug has really fooled the Albany pitchers with that all-speed pitch below the knees. She goes for it again. Driver expecting it. That one swung on. Drives it towards right field for Nuss. Nuss under it, able to get the out. Throw over to home. Not in time. As you get a slide in Great Dane. Getting into home. And with that, adding another run. Cutting the Stony Brook lead to 8-2 here at the bottom of the second with 2 outs. And we'll credit that run scored to Barkovich.
Tara Driver able to get a good angle on that ball, being able to hit it out deep enough where Shauna Nuss was in a position where she couldn't get a throw down quick enough to Nowakowski. Rawich had to pick that one up instead.
With that Love drum goal, they're at bat. Oh, count. This one taken inside. 2 outs here, bottom of the second. 8-2 lead for the Seawolves. Now, the mercy rule no longer in effect.
Now.
For now, that's right. With eight runs scored in 1 inning, anything is possible. 1-0 on the way, taken just outside, past the top part of the plate for a ball.
That looked pretty close. Almost looked like they had a chance to nick the strike zone, but the umpire thought it was just high enough.
Yeah, interestingly, Zach, Baldrick not really working the top part of the strike zone a lot. It's really targeting inside towards the middle part of the plate, just as that one goes to for a called strike taken by Jerome Goulet.
This time it was way inside the middle, so you can pretty much see, because I didn't see much of that ball in front of the ump.
Love Jerome Goulet batting .250 in her 84 at bats. 2-1 on the way, and this one just nicks the bottom part of the zone for a called strike. 2-2. Lovett, 4 doubles on the season. Really, her only 4 extra base hits. 21 hits. This one swung on, grounded, past third base line, foul. That'll drive Craig to pick that one up out of play. Hand it back to her captain.
Both teams have been throwing a lot of foul balls here in the first 2 innings.
Craig due up to bat at the top half of the next inning. 2-2 on the way. That one swung on, and that one lined, and a great diving catch by Shauna Nuss. Shauna Nuss with a great effort, paying off for the Seawolves and saving a potential extra base hit by Drumgole, ending the inning.
What a dive by Shauna Nuss, keeping things in check for Stony Brook, maintains their 6-run lead after 2.
And with that, Stony Brook leading 8-2 after 2 innings of work. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base for the Great Danes. We'll take a quick PSA break. You're listening to WSB 90.1 FM. Back here at WSB Studios, Ken Fermin alongside Zach Wilson on the call. Beautiful Wednesday afternoon, although we are not at UMBC Field. Still clear skies, about 75 degrees. Wind not a factor in this one. Stony Brook with an 8-2 lead in the first round of the America East softball tournament. Winner of this one faces UMBC tomorrow for the rights to the top seed in Sunday's championship game. Pitch to Riley Craig, the left-hander, high and away, ball 1 by Garrett, as the loser will face the UMass Lowell Riverhawks, who lost earlier today. Swing by Craig, ball hit to the back fence behind home plate, 1-1 count.
And some sunshine is definitely starting to show now at Baltimore.
1-1 pitch coming. That one swung on, lined behind home plate once again.
And Craig trying to crack a whip with the last 2 pitches thrown her way that was catching the outside corner and could have let that go. If she did, it could have been 3-0, but she is really relentless.
Yeah, swinging late those last couple of pitches. Craig 1 for 1 on the afternoon with a single. That one swung on again.
And she continues to do it. She just loves playing, just loves having fun.
Craig, one of the regulars in terms of starting for the Seawolves. Not having a great season, as this one is swung on, ball towards the middle of the plate, and this one popped up towards short, and getting under this one, I believe, is
That would be Drumgole.
Yep, Drumgole for the out. So immediately, Stony Brook with another top of the order, or rather, leadoff out in the 3rd inning.
Well, UAlbany getting a little bit of a better work here over the last few innings, as they have retired the last 6.
And immediately seeing an improvement in Hammond from taking over for Garrett. As we see here, Sanzone up to the plate as she
Was hit.
I believe was hit, just catching, her right elbow. Which is interesting because she's a right-hander, but it just caught the right part of her elbow as she is awarded the free base. So 1 on with 1 out. That'll bring up Shauna Nuss.
I just thought that she let that go for a ball.
And Nuss, the slap hitter, is going to drop this one down. And that'll be taken over by a third baseman. Throw her to first, I believe, just in time. Wow. Nuss was about a half step behind on the throw, and you really got to credit the hustle there of the Great Danes from Barkovich covering for her catcher and Petrella, throwing it over to first for Jimenez, just beating out the speedster and Nuss.
Well, the fact was to try to get Sanzone to second.
Yeah,
And
job accomplished there on the sacrifice. So with that runner in scoring position with 2 outs for Herring, top of the order for the Seawolves.
well, it looks like what Nuss was depending on was Herring getting a base hit.
And pitch high and inside, almost went across the face of Herring. She had to step out of that one. Close to danger there.
Very close indeed. She is 2 of 2 today with being able to smack a base hit in her last 2. 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 Smack a base hit.
And Herring, looks like she went for the slap hit there as she misses it. It's called for a strike, 2-1 count. Herring, the former designated slap hitter, transitioned to a contact hitter following rule changes back in 2019, or really late 2019, 2020. And the contact hitter now swings, gets under this pitch, sends this one to left field as Mitros is there under it. Secures the air in her glove, and UAlbany is out of danger. No runs scored for the Seawolves as they go down with, let's get the official center here, no hits, no runs, no errors. The hit by pitch leaving the lone base runner in Sanzone, stranded on second. Seawolves lead 8-2 as we enter the bottom of the third.
Well, UAlbany getting some good looks down, not allowing runs in the last 2 innings after a really big bad spot for them in the top of the first. Could get a little relief, but there's still going to be a lot of work done. And pretty much what they could do is try and replicate what they did in the last inning, which would pick up a pair of runs. But that's just going to have to force Bodrick to start taking things seriously again, because I know she wants to keep things seriously in order to maintain the lead, because at this point the mercy rule may not be lasting long enough.
Yeah, not in effect because Seawolves only up 6 as opposed to 8 like they were in the first. Stony Brook still an 8-2 advantage. What have you seen UAlbany improve on from that miserable first inning? Like, where have you seen them really shine over the last couple of innings?
Well, they've been able to get a better read on Don Bodrick's pitches. Even though Bodrick has been tough, she did give up like back-to-back hits to Barkovich and Jimenez, and it all started off with those 3 at-bats in a row when Petrella was hit by a pitch. So for Bodrick, you just got to find a better way to have your balls thrown not too close to the batters, because that way you won't give them an immediate thinking about momentum coming up.
Top the order, due up for UAlbany. So Phillips, Mitros, and Petty. Phillips holds her swing as that pitch was high and inside for a ball. Phillips 0-1 on the afternoon so far. Ball drug. 38 pitches thrown through 2 innings of work. She gets her 3rd inning underway with another ball high and outside.
Bodrick just wants to get the pitches better inside the strike zone. And taking on Phillips, she was able to strike her out the last time up, but
one of 3 strikeouts through the first time against the order. 2-0 on the way, and the slap hitter goes for the swing, pulls back, ball still in the strike zone. Called a strike, 2-1 count.
it took a second for the umpire to say that that was a strike. She saw enough that Phillips was having the bat angled just far enough.
Ball drug, another pitch high and outside. Misses the left part of the plate. 3-1 count for Alexis Phillips.
I wonder if it's Bodrick's intentions to have the balls thrown that high. You said before that she hasn't thrown it high enough, but maybe that's enough.
Could be trying to get slap hitter chasing. Nowakowski calls time. She talks to her battery mate. Nowakowski Sr. With chatting with the Richard Jr. in ball drug. Nowakowski's been the lead catcher for the Seawolves for the past 2+ seasons, taking over for the machine that was Irene Rivera, a phenomenal hitter, one of the best sluggers in Stony Brook program history. 3-1 on the way, as this one is high and inside for ball 4. So for the second straight inning, the Great Danes have their leadoff runner on base
And that's pretty much the first walk by either team today.
That's a great point. We've seen a hit by pitch, errors, so many different ways. It is interesting to note, you're right, Zach, the first walk allowed by either pitcher in the contest.
Well, this is the first time this season that UAlbany is playing neutral game, where they're not playing on the road nor to home.
Bunted to third base side, caught by Craig. Craig gonna fire over a shot to first.
It's not in time as Phillips was able to get back home to get back to first quickly, but great read by Riley Craig, seeing that how Mitros was going to try and take a little bunt at that one, and Craig was just far out of third base enough to get that first out.
Yeah, the Seawolves defense coming up there. They come up big in the past couple of innings. Of course, Nuss ending the bottom of the second with a beautiful diving grab to rob the 9-hitter of a potential hit.
You can pretty much put it down as an L5 right there, thanks to Riley Craig and her quick thinking.
1-0 count coming to Petrella. She pops this one up. Shallow center field. Just getting under it is second baseman. And McCarville putting Petrella away.
A P6.
Quickly after surrendering, leadoff walk, Seawolves have two quick outs with Petrella at bat.
Well, these things can usually fluctuate from time to time with the pitch, and you can look good at one point, you may have a little off moment at the next, but then you start to rebound.
Yeah, the sophomore Petrella rounding out the trio of sophomores in the 2, 3, and 4 spot. Mitros and Petty unable to advance Phillips, the senior, from first base. So Petrella will get her first opportunity.
Petrella began the damage in the last inning for UAlbany by getting hit by a pitch and then allowing Barkovich and Jimenez to get base hits.
And the slugger behind 0-1 right now against Baldrug. Baldrug throws this one outside, past the right part of the plate for a ball. How do you approach a slugger, especially one like Petrella?
You gotta put up a little screwball action and try and fool them hard, especially if you can get it fast enough.
And that's one of Baldrug's specialties. That time went off speed and high for the first time in the afternoon, and got Petrella to carry that one foul towards the home plate fencing.
If Seawolves can get out of this one, then they'll be guaranteed a 6-run lead halfway through this game.
1-2 coming to Petrella. Baldrug playing with the ball in her glove. Fires off a fastball. Well outside. Nowakowski getting in front of it. Feigned to fire over to first to keep Phillips a few paces away from first base.
Doesn't surprise me too much with Baldrug throwing those balls way outside from Petrella. She doesn't want to hit her again.
Yeah, who's gonna want to see the slugger chasing? As the 2-2 on the way. That one lined just over the third base glove of Craig. That one's gonna be fair. And that one's at least an extra base hit. A double for Petrella. As we see Phillips does cross home plate. And with 2 strikes there, Petrella doing some damage again with the 2-out double, cutting the Stony Brook lead to 5 runs, make it an 8-3 game with the bottom of the third.
Well, unfortunate for Craig, she just couldn't get a good handle on that one. If she did, this inning would be over and Stony Brook would still be up by 6. But that ball was just able to stay away from the glove enough.
Yeah, that one a line drive, just a pace on the right side past Craig. Got a good read on it, just not in the right position. Baldrug again, throwing well outside to Barkovich. Behind the count once again, 1-0. The Seawolves lead again, cut it to 5 as Nowakowski calls time to talk with her pitcher.
Things are getting a little hard for Dawn Baldrug. I mean, she would have almost nearly expected to get out of this inning quickly, but it's just not getting there yet. Just so very close. She wouldn't be having this type of uncomfortable feeling if only Riley Craig had made that catch.
Assistant coach Candy Letts out to speak with Dawn Baldrug, as well as Nowakowski, giving her the signs. Can't really read lips, or back towards the camera, but motioning to really target the middle of the plate, I believe. As Candy Letts, her first full season, as the pitching coach for the Seawolves. As remember, last season, the Seals got off to a 10-4 start overall, program's best since 1991. And a big result of that was the performance of Dawn Baldrug, who finished 8th in the nation with an 0.74 ERA in the abridged 2020 campaign.
The ball went down low for a called strike. Hit the zone.
Baldry against Barkovich. Tying the count up at 1. Barkovich again taking a pitch high and away. Called ball. 2-1. Petrella still at second. Should Barkovich get on base, Jimenez will follow her. Get an opportunity at bat. Barkovich, the lone senior in between 4 sophomores, swung on and missed. A hard reach by Barkovich as she lunged out there to try to get a big cut against the pitch against Baldrig, as that drop pitch sank below the knees. 2-2 count on the way. This one taken high and outside. Full count now.
Broderick really wants this strike right here. Player on second with 2 outs. Wants to only allow 1 run this time.
52nd pitch of the afternoon for Don Baldrick. 3-2 on the way. This one swung on, hit hard, and straight to the glove of the left fielder. As with this, or rather, excuse me, I believe that one just dropped right in front of the left field territory, as the result's going to bring home another run for the Great Danes, as it looked like Sanzone was unable to get a clear read on it, as that one was lined straight towards her. And with that, UAlbany getting another run, their second of the inning, and cutting this deficit in half from 8-0 to 8-4 in just 2 innings.
We just didn't see a clear angle on that one.
No,
the
we
umpire
didn't.
was pretty much blocking it. We thought at first that Sanzone did have that catch.
Yeah, from our vantage point, again, basing this off of the UMBC cameras provided, the stream provided. First pitch swing and a strike to Jimenez by Baldrug. That one a heater down Broadway. Trying to see from our vantage point, our angle is situated right behind home plate. We don't have the camera accessibilities that we do at Stony Brook, where there's multiple angles following these plays. There's really only 1 or 2 provided to us. This pitch by Baldrug, thrown in the dirt, as this will Jimenez, or rather the runner at second, Barkovich, is going to go to third, slides under the throw, and before Craig can apply a tag from the throw by Nowakowski, Barkovich has stolen third off the drop pitch. So now a runner 90 feet from home. 8-4 ball game here at UMBC Field. Baldrug for 56th pitch of the game. Down the middle, swung on, hit hard, a little foul. Line past the third base side, out of play.
So Broderick once again in a position where there are 2 strikes on the batter. Needs to get out of here before things get more rough.
It seems like for both teams, 1-2 is their strength, despite being behind in the count, is where we've seen a lot of clutch inning from both teams. 1-2 on the way, swung on and missed, strike 3. Runner stranded at third base as Baldrug gets out of a jam, but not before allowing 2 runs to come on 2 hits, no errors. The Danes leaving 1 left on base. After 3, Stony Brook leads 8-4. You're listening to America East softball action live on WUSB 90.1 FM. Back here at WUSB Studios, calling the Stony Brook UAlbany softball first round matchup, and taking a quick look at the hitting summary. Through the first 3 innings, Stony Brook batting .500 as a team. 8 of their 16 batters have gotten on base via the hit. Only 2 strikeouts, 3 extra base hits. Team batting 6 of 10 overall, with runners in scoring position and runners on just in general, although they have been unable to get a hit with 2 outs in the inning. UAlbany, meanwhile, 4 of 12, 4 strikeouts against Baldrig, 1 walk, 2 extra base hits, batting 4 of 9 with runners on, and 2 of 5 with 2 outs. So we'll see Kyra McFarland, the designated slap hitter, leading off for the Seawolves against Brianna Garrett, throwing her 35th pitch of the afternoon. High and away, ball 1. For those just tuning in, Stony Brook put up an 8th spot to lead off the game, and over the past couple of innings, UAlbany has drove home a pair of runs in each, cutting the Seawolves' lead 8-4 as we hit the top of the 4th. 2-0 count for McFarland.
McFarland quickly ahead on Garrett, trying to force her to throw more balls outside.
0-1 on the afternoon as McFarland tries for the hit, misses. Strike 1 for her.
Oh, two actually, as she did strike out against Wendy Hammond and then got a sacrifice fly to right.
2-1 coming. McFarland tries to check her swing. Doesn't matter. Makes contact with the ball as it's lined out of play. Past the third base dugout, where Stony Brook is situated. 2-2 count. McFarland, as you said, Zach, 0 for 1 of trying to avoid being struck out again. As she takes the pitch, lone away. Did not swing, almost exited the strike zone. Would have been an automatic out of that point. Full count now for McFarland.
Looked pretty close right there, but McFarland, lucky enough, after she was up ahead 2-0, allowed 2 straight strikes afterwards, and then this ball.
Great point. This one swung and contact made. Great diving hustle by the second baseman as it goes under her glove, though, and McFarland is awarded with her first hit of the afternoon, despite the great effort by Falatico.
And with that, all 9 batters for Stony Brook have made it on first today.
Incredible, Zach. Absolutely incredible. And what have you seen from the Stony Brook team that, again, really struggled in the regular season against the Great Danes?
Well, it's that they really wanted revenge against them in an Empire rivalry like this, and getting this good early start, even though they have allowed 4 straight to UAlbany, wants to use this lead and try and hold on for as long as they can.
Winner faces UMBC to start off the games tomorrow, as Rowrich, after taking a ball high and away, takes a strike down the middle.
Rowrich 1 for 2 today as she grounded out to third her last time up, but was part of that 2-run homer that brought her and Herring home.
Has made plenty of contact against Great Danes hitting this season. Does it again here as this one is lined over short and third towards shallow left field. Is going to bloop in for a base hit. That'll advance McFarland, and that'll give Nicole McCarville, the right-handed senior, an opportunity to drive home a run or two.
So this is good.
2 on, no outs.
So this is looking good for Stony Brook. After they've given up 4 straight runs after taking an 8-0 run lead in the top of the first, they want to get back with looking hot with the batting, because that time appears to have started to come with UAlbany trying to make a comeback.
As immediately, McCarville swings on this one as she was going for a slap hit. The infield played it well, but swung on and missed by McCarville. 0-1 count.
So you have 2 players on first and second with nobody out. You figured you had to try and get at least 1 home. But again,
as another slap hit, this one ground towards third base side is going to be picked up by Barkovich. Throw over to first in time to Jimenez as the sacrifice is applied perfectly by McCarville. And with 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. Runners on third and McFarland at third, Rarich at second, and Nowakowski up to bat.
So if she does ground out here, that may not be a double. It may not be a double play since there is nobody at first.
That's a great point. 1 for 2 in the afternoon is Jordan Nowakowski. First pitch swinging, hit hard towards right field. That'll go into the glove of Petty for an out. And coming home is McFarland, and she'll slide headfirst into home and is safe before the throw can arrive to the glove of Petrella. And as a result, Stony Brook adding a run, making this a 9-4 game. Rarish advancing to third.
Good job there by Stony Brook. It all starting off with Rarish putting up, with Carville actually being able to put up that little squeeze bunt successful enough, and then apparently after that, Nowakowski able to be responsible for the second sacrifice fly for Stony Brook today. Stony Brook back up by 5.
That'll bring Brooke Dye up to bat. First pitch swinging. This one grounded over to short, and a slow roller there, not going to be enough. As a result, advancing to first is Dye as a run, being Rodriguez, crosses home plate. Stony Brook increasing their lead 10-4.
Drum goalie couldn't get a clear handling on the ball as it was grounded right to her, and because of that, Rodriguez able to go home and Die safe at first.
If I recall correctly, I think this is the second time Dye has reached base on a fielding error. She's the lone Seawolf who hasn't had a hit in this contest.
Yeah, you got that right. Her first at-bat of this game, she lifted one on a liner out to second where Falatico couldn't get a clear handling on that one, and now Drum goalie can't do it either. How about that? The 2 times that she has made it on base today have been on errors by the infielders.
And we're seeing Coach Bryant looking so joyful, chatting with Dye, probably joking about it. We saw Dye laughing about that.
Well, Stony Brook knew that UAlbany was starting to come back, and Seawolves have started to get a good response.
And Drum Gole, 15 errors on the season, leads the team in that category. The left-handed Craig first pitch swing carries this one high and far, but just past the first base side, foul. Behind in the count 0-1.
It almost looked like Ty almost thought that could have been going deep enough, but Craig knew at an instant that was going to be on the other side.
Again, Drum Gole now her 16th error of the season. Second worst fielding percentage on the team at 84%. Craig hits this one, line towards the center field spot, and just falls before he's able to get into the glove of Phillips. And the shallow blooper, just enough to advance, die to second base, and give Stony Brook another opportunity to score with runners in scoring position.
Riley Craig has had a good game so far. She is now 2 of 3 getting those base hits after her last at-bat where she popped up to the shortstop.
That'll bring up Julia Sanzone, trying to add some more insurance for the Seawolves, who already have 3 hits and have advanced on an error in this contest, or rather in this inning, and 2 runs to boot. 10-4 lead for Stony Brook, 0-1 count for Sanzone. Scary now with the windup. Sanzone chops this one past the third base line, foul.
Sanzone wants to do some damage, only has 1 home run this year, and has only 6 RBIs. This would be a big spot for her to try and get some more after this, with this being her 14th start of the season.
0-2 on the way. This one hit hard, far to deep left field. Mitros there getting under it and just able to get her glove on it. And with that, puts away the Seawolves, but not before a pair of runs cross home plate on 3 hits, 1 error, 2 left on base. Through the middle of 4, Stony Brook leads 10-4.
Well, that was exactly what Stony Brook needed, because like I said before, it's been 4 straight runs by UAlbany to try and get back in this game after cutting it in half, but Stony Brook has no longer made that case. They've now hit double-digit runs today and take a 10-4 lead on UAlbany halfway through this game.
And Zach, let's look at some of the numbers here. How interesting is it looking at the total pitches thrown? 61 for Baldrug, 91 combined between Garrett and Hammond.
Well, this has not been an easy day for her after she looked good with that 1-2-3 bottom of the first inning after she gave up a pair of runs over the last 2. But because of what Stony Brook just did right there, thanks to the base hits that they've been able to put up and the sacrifice fly as well, they should probably put a little less pressure on Dawn Baldrick and maybe give her the comfortable breathing room that she needs to once again be at her best without anything getting in her way.
Of Baldrug's 61 pitches, 22 have been balls, the other 39 strikes. 70% of the Great Danes pitches have been in the strike zone. Interestingly, as you alluded to, UAlbany responsible for both errors committed in today's contest, as well as 7 fly balls compared to just 5 by the Seawolves. There have been no groundouts for the UAlbany offense. It has been all flyouts or strikeouts. So UAlbany 2 of 4 when batting leadoff, and we will see here Folatico, the left-handed hitter, against Baldrug. First pitch takes this one outside for a ball.
And there's still the problem right there for Baldrick is that most of the pitches that she has thrown have gone way outside the zone, and she wants to probably eliminate that and also make sure that it can get past the batters at the same time.
1-0 coming. This one cut on and fouled off the Stony Brook dugout. 1-1 count.
It's a check swing showing by Folatico, but the bat does connect with the ball and goes behind her.
And you brought up an interesting point, Zach. Again, finding out how many pitches she throws today involves, decreases her likelihood of being used tomorrow. Each team swung on and missed. Big cut by Folatico. Swung on underneath the pitch.
Well, who knows if the expectation is there for Baldrick to once again take the circle for Stony Brook tomorrow, because if not her, we obviously know that Rawrich is going to be there.
1-2 count on the way by the ace. That one cut on towards the fencing behind home plate. Just getting enough of it is Folatico to stay alive. And looking at Stony Brook pitching, Baldrug, 15-7 on the season. Entered today with a 1.56 ERA, one of the best in the nation. Melissa Rawrich, of course, following her, 2.27 ERA. 1-2 on the way, swung on and missed strike 3. Folatico was looking for, I want to say, home run or bust there, because she was taking some pretty big cuts the entire at-bat and Baldrug getting the better of that, throwing high and away, getting the batter to swing.
Well, this is actually pretty much, if I'd say, it's a good thing for Bodrick because here in the bottom of the fourth and in the bottom of the first, the leadoff player for UAlbany went down swinging and missing. Well, between the second and the third, the first player was able to get on base.
And now up to bat is Driver, and taking a look at what Driver has done today, she was responsible for a run scoring off the sacrifice fly, takes a pitch inside for a ball.
So if you could tell how the first player against Bodrick was out between those things, I think that pretty much gives it a good chance for Bodrick to try and get out of this inning quickly enough, although she is quickly ahead behind 2-0. Their Driver drove the ball out deep for a sacrifice fly her last time up.
And immediately 3 pitches outside and away against Tara Driver. Baldrug not challenging the hitter inside. As stated before, didn't play in the series against Stony Brook earlier in the season. As a result of battling injuries, missed parts of the season, only played 25 of the 38 regular season games. And ball 4, as this one is below the knees, so a 4-pitch walk. The second surrendered by Baldrug in the inning, or rather in the game, as UAlbany with a runner on and 1 out, with Love Drumgole up to bat.
Well, looks like Bodrick really wants to still work out of this inning after she has given up a pair each over the last 2, and wants to try and get things a little more cleanly after getting a quick circle visit with Nowakowski. We are halfway through this game, and Stony Brook is still up by 6. Should she be able to get out of this inning, she'd have to worry about 3 more innings if Megan Bryant will leave her out for that long. But as long as she keeps her composure, I think Dawn has a good chance of being able to finish this game completely.
70 pitches thrown so far. First pitch taken for a strike, catching the bottom part of the zone, down right corner for Drumgole.
Well, after she didn't throw a single strike to Driver in the last at-bat, she's able to get one to Drumgole this time.
Drumgole 0 for 1. She hits this one, pops it over to short, and McCarville gets underneath, takes care of that. Stony Brook with 2 outs now.
That's the second time today McCarville has been able to get the pop out after she got one in the last inning or 2 against Morgan Petty. So there it is right there. A chance for Bodrick to make it an inning where she does not allow a run for the first time since the bottom of the first. Just 1 batter away, and that's against Alexis Phillips, the top of the batting order for the Great Danes, where she drew a walk her last time up.
And Nowakowski now, throw over to first, and she gets the runner, and the first throw over to second, out.
Caught stealing!
And while Driver walked to first, it was a pinch runner, Strokowski, who pinch ran for Driver. She believed Nowakowski let the pitch roll to the backstop. Instead, Nowakowski got in the butterfly, was able to scoop up that ball, throw over to first, and then over to McCarville to pick off Strokowski. So with that, UAlbany, no hits, no runs, no errors. The walk erased by caught stealing attempt, and with that, Stony Brook through 4 has a 10-4 lead.
Wow, Nowakowski being able to get her way over to Rarish and just being able to catch Driver there.
McCarville, right.
Yeah, probably McCarville. McCarville usually at shortstop, actually. I guess Rarish able to find McCarville,
Yep.
or was it even dive? But either way, that was just really an impressive read right there, and just being able to give Bodrick that opportunity to not allow a run in an inning for the first time since the bottom of the first. And I can tell you now that the pressure is really starting to lay off for her, as now the Seawolves will take that 6-run lead into the 5th inning.
And here's where things get interesting, because should the Seawolves add a pair of runs and extend their lead to 8, if they're able to extend their lead to 8 runs and hold UAlbany scoreless in the bottom of the inning, the game will be effectively over via the mercy rule.
Well, let's
As
see.
a result, you'll save some energy for your players tomorrow when you take on the UMBC Retrievers, the top seed of the America East. And again, as a reminder, neither team eliminated by a loss today. However, it does get them one step closer to elimination, because they would have to face a do-or-die game against the UMass Lowell Riverhawks tomorrow.
The one who The one who
Hawks tomorrow.
goes back-to-back in losses today and tomorrow.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's gonna pretty much be gone. If you lose today, but win tomorrow, that keeps you in for another day, or actually a few more hours, since your next game would be a little later in the day tomorrow.
An interesting decision here for UAlbany. He's getting late in the game, so we'll see our third pitcher of the afternoon, that being Miranda Jimenez, and immediately against
Shauna
Nuss is a ball outside. So get you some pitching numbers for Jimenez. She's been involved in this game at first base. Jimenez 5 of 6 on the season, 9 starts, 5 complete games. This one a slow roller to first and throw over to Nuss, and Nuss able to just beat out the throw over the first base.
Successful.
Taking over for Jimenez was Lewis, and the throw was not in time from I believe Petrella over to Lewis. So with that, Nuss leading off the top of the 5th with a double. Or rather, a single. Infield single.
What a great read by Nuss, being able to bunt that perfectly and using her speed to get there in time.
Jordan Herring following her. Top of the order once again for the Seawolves. Herring 2 of 4 on the afternoon with 2 RBIs and a run scored.
She is 2 of 3.
Sorry, 2 of 3. Now 2 of 4. She grounds to the 4-6-3 double play as the grounder to follow Tico, throw over to Drumgole, and throw over to Lewis is in time. Now 2 for 4. As quickly Jimenez gets out of that jam with 1 pitch, 2 outs, and that will bring up McFarland to the plate.
Follow Tico, Drumgole, and there you have it like that. Pretty much pulling out the same stunt with the whole 3 players used, just like the Stony Brook did with being able to catch the player in the last inning.
And very quickly, let's get Brianna Garrett's final numbers. 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, 1 strikeout, 1 hit by pitch. McFarland will slap hit this one over to shortstop and throw in time, but Lewis lost possession of the ball as McFarland was, I think, just a step behind. So she will be awarded first base there, and that'll bring up Melissa Rorick with a runner on and 2 outs.
So once again, it's another fast-paced action by Stony Brook to smack a ball like that and being able to make it on base before the ball has a chance to get there.
Stony Brook 2 of 8 with 2 outs in batting. It's .250 percentage. This one, first pitch swinging by Roberts, chopped over the middle, over the extended glove of Jimenez, rolling towards center field. McFarland will run from first to third, and Rawrich getting business done with an RBI. Sorry, not an RBI, but rather a single extending the game and extending the inning for the Stony Brook Seawolves with runners on the corner now, up 10-4 at the top of the 5th.
Well, I gotta say, that was just really another great one. Melissa Raric is having a great day so far, where she is now 3 of 4, getting able to mac on that base hit really well.
And now up to bat is Nicole McCarville. And McCarville coming into this one, she is 1 of 2 with a double and a sacrifice. They're responsible for 3 hits. First pitch, one on for a strike. As McCarville looking to add some insurance for the Seawolves. If they do that, they get hypothetically an 8-run lead. Again, they could end this. Pitch taken outside for a ball. They could end this one and end this one at the bottom half of the inning. Let's see, 1-1 on the way. This one grounded over to third as... So basically we'll just take this one, apply the tag to... Sorry, to run over short. The shortstop will take this one and use those Drumgole and just apply the tag to Rawrich, who was coming from first to second. As we don't see that one too often. Shortstop unassisted to end the inning. So 3 hits, but no runs for the Seawolves through the top of the 5th. 2 runners left on base. And with that, we'll take a quick commercial break. The Seawolves up 10-4, heading to the bottom of the 5th. Back here at WUSB Studios, Ken Fermin alongside Zach Wilson. 5:05 p.m. here on across the Long Island shore here at Stony Brook University. You are listening to WUSB Stony Brook 90.1 FM and W297BM Stony Brook 107.3. And getting ready here at the bottom of the fifth, Alexis Phillips up to bat again. Top of the order for Dawn Baldrug. Be the third time facing him. First pitch taken outside for a called strike. Phillips 0 for 1. Drew a walk her last time out. Struck out. Start the bottom half of the first inning.
You say that's a walk. I'd say that would probably make it right now 0-0 unless she gets a hit.
Right.
She shows that it shows that she's 0-1, so I guess it could pretty much stay like that.
Taken, ball outside, ball 1. As for Dawn Baldrug, her work so far, 4 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Pitch, high and inside for strike. That one swung on and missed by Alexis. Only 2 wild pitches for Baldrug, and in her 18 batters faced, 6 flyouts, 2 extra base hits surrendered. As Baldrug wiping the ball against her pants. Here comes wind-up and pitch. High and outside, taken by the slap hitter. And Phillips for another ball. 2-2 count. Let's get in late, Zach. What do the Great Danes have to do to get within an arm's reach of this ballgame?
Figure out what they did with the 2 and what they did in the second and third inning by bringing up a pair of runs, although this one won't go.
2-2 on the way. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. As Baldrug again utilizing that off-speed down the middle, bottom part of the zone to catch Phillips reaching across the plate.
Well, there goes Baldrug trying to reinvigorate herself as she has 6 strikeouts now today.
What a performance by Baldrug, Zach. I mean, 4 runs is one of her worst of the season, but at the same time, that strikeout count is approaching among her best delivered this season.
There's nothing for her to worry about with the 4 runs she's given up because Stony Brook has come through with their batting today, giving her what she needs to most likely get through this whole 7-inning game if necessary.
Number 2 batter, Caitlin Mitros, up to the plate. First pitch taken for a called strike. Mitros 0 of 2 on the afternoon, has been one of the 6 casualties against Baldrugs and her strikeouts. The left fielder swung on and missed. She's reaching, and again, Baldrug gets another player to go out and try to catch that off-speed heater, almost hybrid-like pitch that's down in the zone. And Baldrug now really feeling it, Zach.
Yeah, she really does. Really feeling how there's a good chance for her to work through something like this.
This one high and away for our ball. And interesting to note, it just seems like that every time Baldrug's ahead in the count, she follows it up with a ball.
And we're going to get a quick timeout here call. It's just going to take a little... Well, actually,
a quick pause there by the umps as Mitros back in the batter's box. Wind up, pitch. This one high and outside, ball 2. Two count for Mitros as Baldrug now with quick encouragement from McCarville. Getting ready with the windup. Here's the pitch. This one hit high and still going to stay in the infield. And hovering over it is Nicole McCarville. And almost like she told Baldrug, hey, throw it over to me. No, give me some action, as she gets under it for the pop out to short. And quickly, Baldrug with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
McCarville's having some pretty fun time here today, and she's really living it.
So, with that, I'll bring up Petty. Morgan Petty to the plate. First pitch. Swung on over as the pitch, again, another off-speed, catching bottom part of the plate for a strike.
Well, there has been some opportunities for UAlbany today to try and get some things going, but haven't really gotten much down since
Pitch,
the top of the
low and away. There's another ball. 1-1 count to Petty.
Things are maybe getting a little dire now for UAlbany. Had some good run going, but it's been stalled because Baldrick seems to have been able to find herself again.
And for Baldrug, working well, as time is called. And Baldrug has got a quick break in the action. Baldrug working well, as you said, has put down her 2 batters faced so far here, although dealing with a 1-1 count against Morgan.
So we were checking up some earlier highlights from before on what Baldrick has been capable of working through this game, and even though she has given up 4 runs and 4 hits, the fact that Stony Brook has been able to do pretty well for her shows that she's been pretty feisty.
Agreed. Wind-up pitch. This one below the knees of Petty. And it'll be a 2-1 count for the batter. 2-1 on the way. Swung on. Missed. And a big cut that time taken by Morgan as the pitch sucked as it crossed home plate towards the middle part of the zone into the glove of Nowakowski and Baldrug with a 2-2 count against Morgan Petty. Wind up pitch, and this one, a ground ball to McCarville. McCarville going to pick this one up, throw over to Rorich, and with that, the side is retired in order. So through 5 innings, Baldrug has got herself and the Stony Brook Seawolves a 10-4 lead. You're listening to America East Softball live on WUSB Sports, WUSB 90.1 FM.
Well, we really seen that after there were some confusion with some things on our end, but that doesn't really matter now because everything is back to normal, ladies and gentlemen. We were having some technical difficulties with the video feed, but it came back on, and we were still able to give you what we could thanks to the live stats that were still pretty much online.
Yeah, and the live stats, again, reflecting the performance that Baldrug has delivered for the Seawolves, Zach. 21 batters faced, 91 total pitches, 57 of those strikes. But I think the big number, those 4 earned runs offset by 6 strikeouts and a heck of a Seawolves defense behind her.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, this is Dawn Baldrick's first America East softball game as well. After last year was her first season in D1 with Stony Brook, looked really good until COVID hit. And the year before, of course, she was in Indian River, but now that she's finally getting a real good dose of what Division I softball is like, she's not doing bad.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. You're right. First postseason performance by Baldrug in the America East and D1 ball, as you accurately stated. And really the only blemish, again, those 4 earned runs and 2 doubles. They're the only 2 extra base hits she's allowed. As for Stony Brook, the bats have really been alive in this one. And due up in this inning is Jordan Nowakowski, Brooke Dye, and Riley Craig. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters of the Seawolves to take on Miranda Jimenez in her second inning of work. Just to give you the numbers on Jimenez quickly. Jimenez, 11 appearances, 9 of those starts. 5 complete games. No shutouts, though. And it's 5-6 record. And a 5.48 ERA. She has surrendered the least amount of hits of a full-time starter for Danes in 55. Has only pitched 52 innings. 47 strikeouts, though, on the season. As quickly, Nowakowski sits on the first 2 pitches and waits. 2-0 count. And again, is patient at the plate and is rewarded by being ahead 3-0 at the top of the 6th.
Well, it seems like Nowakowski has been able to get a good read on Jimenez so far.
And quickly, obviously, as you can tell, WSB Sports Action here, Democracy Now! Will be following us when this game is done. It is due to be done fairly quickly, as Nowakowski draws the 4-pitch walk to start the top of the 6th inning.
Well, after UAlbany was able to get the first walk of the game on either side, Stony Brook is finally able to do the same thing as it comes from the 4th at-bat for Nowakowski in the top of the 6th. And they're going to work with a little pinch running action here, too, as they're going to bring in Emma Campbell at first.
And Campbell, a speedster, has been primarily used as a pinch runner this season. Not too much action at the plate. And of course, again, with the rules of softball, it's not going to be the end of Nowakowski, unless Coach Bryan chooses so. And following this, quick bunt attempt shown by Dye, as she laid down the bunt, but it was hit towards the backstop. out of play. So Campbell will return to first as Dye steps in the batter's box behind 0-1.
So I want to get you a little quick stat, too, on what happened between UMBC and UMass Lowell earlier today. Courtney Coppersmith.
Slap hit towards third base side. The base picks it up. Throw over to first in time. And Campbell tried to extend her base from going from first to third. She had second safely. I don't know why. She tried to extend it over to third. And the play was made. Throw over to third in time. As Barkovich applied the tag 5 paces ahead of Campbell approaching third base, and quickly Stony Brook's a chance with a runner in scoring position wasted.
1-3-6. You may as well put it on like that. Jimenez getting over to the first base player and then finding Barkovich eventually.
First baseman Lewis filling in for Jimenez. As you're right, quickly 2 outs off of the base running error by Campbell. Brings up Riley Craig, the left-hander. She takes this pitch for a ball after chopping the first one out of play past the first base dugout. 1-1 count. 1-1 on the way. This one is fouled. Back behind home plate. And quickly in the 1-2 hole is the senior Craig.
Once this top of the 6 is over, Ken, I'll give you some stats on what happened between UMBC and UMass Lowell behind the masterful pitching from Coppersmith.
Sounds good. As swung on and missed strike 3, Jimenez beats Craig with the fastball high and away. Craig just a step behind, and with that, the side is retired. So no runs, no hits for the Seawolves, as no one left on base following the running error. And with that, UAlbany will come up to bat, trailing 10-4 in the bottom of the 6th. And Zach, why don't you give us an update on the prior game between UMBC and UMass Lowell?
Well, as we said before, Ken, UMBC defeated UMass Lowell 3-0, and what an exciting performance for Courtney Coppersmith it was. Getting her 17th win of the season, being able to go complete. Only allowing a couple of hits, she was just nearly flirting with a no-hitter on that. Did allow 3 walks, but the biggest part of that is that she threw 13 strikeouts.
Yeah, Coppersmith, again, named Conference Player and Pitcher of the Year second straight season. Pitcher of the Year second straight season. And
yeah, she
there's
doesn't
your
really
reason.
bat.
Again, the phenomenal performance once again by, I want to say it's undisputed. As good as Baldrug and Roberts have been for the Seawolves, Courtney Coppersmith has been on another planet in the pitcher circle over the past couple of seasons.
Yeah, I think we really gotta give that credit out where credit is due. A couple of hits from both Maddie Degno, Julia Keffler, and you also get Shannon Stott, who was able to really rake in an RBI along with Sierra Pierce and Madison Wilson.
And from one great pitching performance to another, here we have at the bottom of the 6th, Dawn Baldrug getting ready to complete her 6th straight inning of work. 6 strikeouts through 91 total pitches.
She's pitched a lot, but she still has a good chance to get out this game and help her team win.
First pitch to the right-handed slugger in Madison Petrella, taken low and inside for a ball. Nowakowski losing her handling on that. We'll just toss that one to the side.
Petrella has been fortunate to get on base 2 times today after her first at-bat, where she was hit by a pitch, and the second one being able to force the ball just far out of Nowakowski's glove.
Wind up pitch, off speed, below the knees, middle part of the zone, the middle part of the plate, underneath the strike zone. Quickly, Baldrug behind, 2-0. Part of the order due up for the Danes with Petrella, Barkovich, and Jimenez. This one hit hard down a deep center field, and that one getting under it is...
Nope, that one is out of here.
As right you are, Zach, that one, bad camera angles, but nonetheless, that one is gone over the center field wall, and Petrella cutting the deficit once again in half with the solo home run to start the bottom of the 6th.
Well, that's a big one to notice right there. It seems like Petrella's going to have a good chance to make it so she won't get thrown out by Bodrick at all today. In her 3rd at-bat, she has made so she has not understood what it's like to get out, unlike the rest of her batters. But of course, there's one more batter who is up right now that has not been thrown out yet.
The heart of the order in Petrella, Barkovich, and Jimenez have been the best hitters for the Danes today. Petrella, as you said, 2 of 3 as Barkovich takes this first pitch outside, called strike. 2 of 3, 2 RBIs, double and a home run. So those 2 hits being extra base hits. Barkovich again takes a fastball, catches the outside part of the plate, falls quickly behind 0-2.
Doesn't look like Bodrick's going to be able to get Petrella out in any fashion today, but has the chance to force Barkovich out for the first time today.
Kelly, 2 of 2 so far. 1 RBI, 1 double, as she takes this one outside and away for a called ball.
We'll see if Barkovich has a chance to try and work around with Bodrick so she doesn't have to be thrown out for the first time today. She really wants to get herself
Madison
perfect.
and Kelly, the only 2 Great Danes to have extra base hits on the afternoon for them. And this one grounded over to short, but gets through the glove of McCarville and is going to go into shallow left center field. And with that, Barkovich again getting on base. So the Great Danes cooking up something here. Starting off the inning, trailing by 6. Immediately capitalizing with a home run by Petrella, cut the deficit to 5. And now Barkovich on with Miranda Jimenez up to bat.
It seems like the heart of the batting order for UAlbany has been very perfect today, and they want to keep it up.
Breathing life to the UAlbany offense as this first pitch smacked to the backstop. Foul. 0-1 count. Quickly on Petrella. She had another great performance against the Seawolves earlier this season, batting 2 of 3 with an RBI, a walk, and 2 runs scored in the 6-2 victory over Stony Brook. Of course, this one hit hard, past the left field side, foul. That game won by the batter, currently Miranda Jimenez, with hitting that game-winning grand slam at the bottom of the 8th. 0-2 on the way, pitcher to pitcher. Miranda filling in for Hammond and Garrett, as this one is fouled to the backstop again and over the home plate fencing, out of play.
Every time there are 2 strikes for UAlbany here in this inning, they're going to look to try and smack more on it as much as they can, because they see themselves as having more opportunities to foul it rather than get thrown out. Bodrick's really going to have to put the screws on that.
Yeah, it's been an interesting point, Zach. They've really made Bodrick work once they've fallen behind in the count, and have really made her throw away from the zone. 0-2 on the way, just like there, where Bodrick throws it high and away for a called ball. Nowakowski gets in the throwing stance, feigns a throw over to first.
He's able to keep Barkovich at first, stationary right there, so there's no things don't get out of hand.
UAlbany 4 of 11 in the contest, as another ball hit foul behind home plate by Jimenez this at bat. As I was saying, the Great Danes hitting 4 of 11 on the afternoon with runners on. Seawolves, meanwhile, 9 of 17 in those opportunities. Overall, the team batting .250 compared to 519 by the Stony Brook Seawolves. This one high inside, almost clipping the elbow of Jimenez, as she has worked the count back to a 2-2 count.
Well, I can only imagine how pressured she's feeling as she hasn't gotten an out yet. Just 1 strike away from getting an out. She needs to get a good angle on the throw.
2-2 coming, swung on and missed, strike 3.
There's the angle.
As you said it, Zach, Baldrug catching the outside part of the plate, getting Jimenez to reach out and swing, as 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th for Katie Falotico stepping in. And Zach, what do you see from that pitch that was able to work for Baldrug?
Well, she was able to work it up as it goes for a rise ball. Really fooled Jimenez on that one. She may have gotten a little late on the swing.
First pitch tipped foul by Falotico. As you're right, usually Baldrug going with the drop pitch with the 2-2 count in this contest, instead opting for the high riser, and it worked to perfection as she was able to get the batter out. And another pitch catching the outside part of the plate against the lefty. So immediately Falotico behind, 0-2.
That pitch did look like it was going to go outside a little bit, but just stayed right in that strike zone that is pretty much imaginary, even though we were watching this from video.
Swung on for strike 3 as Folatico strikes out swinging. Nowakowski will throw her to first, but that one sailing behind Rarich wasn't able to cleanly handle the ball. So regardless, Barkovich able to advance on second on the throwing error by Nowakowski.
Well, I don't know about what Nowakowski was doing with that. You don't want to give UAlbany a chance to try and work. I mean, like, they must have been pretty adamant about seeing whether or not Barkovich was going to try and take a steal.
Again, our vantage point is situated behind the fencing, behind home plate where the catcher is. So we essentially see virtually the same thing Nowakowski does. And Folatico was only about Barkovich was only about 3 paces or so from first base. She didn't have a crazy lead like some of the other runners, such as Sanzone earlier in this contest. As Tara Driver, up to bat, first pitch swing, strike, 0-1 count for her. Another one swung on and missed. The deep cut missed by Driver, and another throw that almost went over the head of Baldrig, who had to leap up just to get the return pass.
Well, Driver was able to draw that 4-pitch walk in the last inning against Baldrig, and let's see what she can do here to switch things out. She does force a foul on it.
Yeah, it stays alive with the cut, and pops this one behind the backstop, foul.
You can imagine how much she wants to reverse that at-bat that she had with Driver. Although the end result for Driver in that last at-bat for her was that she was caught stealing.
0-2 on the way. Driver remains patient at the high rise as it carries over the zone. Makes Nowakowski climb the ladder to keep it in front of her. 1-2 count now.
After allowing a home run to Petrella and getting Barkovich to first on an error, Jimenez and Folatico have been back-to-back on strikeouts.
And this one hit hard, sailing high, but sailing out of play past the left field foul line. As UAlbany currently 2 of 6 on the afternoon with runners with 2 outs, batting with 2 outs, batting .333 with runners on, but batting 2 of 4 with runners in scoring position. This one high and away for another ball. 2-2 count for Driver.
So another reminder that the winner of this game, if it should be Stony Brook, if they hold on to their win, they will be playing against UMBC tomorrow. That game will be at 11 o'clock.
And first of 3 highly anticipated matchups, as this one again fouled past the left field side. Sailing past the left side of the left field foul pole. So
anyway,
Driver getting good licks on the ball, just not keeping it fair. And again, the first of 3 highly anticipated matchups for tomorrow.
Fouls it again along the third base line.
It's a replica of what happened in her last pitch. And Baldrig has been keeping the pitches inside as well.
So tomorrow, UMBC plays the winner of this game. Tomorrow, in Game 3 between UMBC and the winner of this, the winner will get to skip the later afternoon games tomorrow and advance to the championship round on Saturday. The first game is expected to be at 12.
Remember, first to 3 victories this weekend is your champion. Those teams that get 2 losses. This pitch fouled over the backstop.
Well,
2 losses eliminates you in this double elimination tournament between number 4 UMass Lowell, number 3 Stony Brook, number 2 UAlbany, and the reigning and defending champion UMBC Retrievers. This pitch thrown in the dirt, and Nowakowski's going to throw her to third, and the throw not in time, as great hustle there, both by Nowakowski and by Barkovich on the run, as that pitch was a drop pitch in the dirt. Barkovich slid in just in time, about a second ahead of the throw over to Craig. So full count coming, and this one flied out center field, and it looks like Herring's under it. She makes the grab, and with that, the inning is over. But not before UAlbany puts on 1 run off 1 hit off a big blast by Petrella over the center field wall. Her 7th of the season. 2 errors in the inning, and 1 runner left on base. Through 6, Stony Brook leads 10-5. You're listening to WUSB 90.1 FM, WUSB Stony Brook. Back here in beautiful WSB studios on the campus of Stony Brook University. You're listening to America East Softball live on WSB Stony Brook, WSB 90.1, W297BM, Stony Brook 107.3. Just a minute past the half-hour mark. It's 5:30 here on the east coast of the U.S., here on just off the shore of Long Island. Stony Brook leading 10-5 in today's contest between the Seawolves and the Great Danes. First round action of the America East Double Elimination Tournament. Julia Sanzone up to bat. First pitch, check swing, fouls this one over the first base foul line.
Hit by a pitch, base hit, and flew out to left in her at-bats today.
It's the 7th inning here, Zach, so the mercy rule doesn't really matter. Or it's the 6th inning, so there's still potential for a mercy rule.
All they gotta do is get 3 runs. Is that it?
Yeah, and then obviously get UAlbany out. My point is, what are you looking for in Stony Brook as Sanzone takes another pitch outside for a 2-1 count? What are you looking for in Stony Brook as we're in the top of the 7th as they, again, approach this final inning of work?
Well, I'm going to be pretty iffy about what they want to think about as the 2-1 is fouled behind Sanzone. I think that what Stony Brook could be looking at either trying to fight themselves back up like they did in the first inning, or if they just want to go lenient and get Bodrick that chance, as she doesn't want to take too much of a break if it comes down to that.
2-2 on the way, swung on and missed. Jimenez with the off-speed drop pitch on the outside part of the plate. Gets the right-hander reaching, lunging over at home plate, missing, getting nothing but air, and immediately 1 out for the Seawolves as Shauna Nuss up to bat at the 9-hole. Nuss 2 for 2 on the afternoon. 1 sacrifice hit as well as Jimenez, first pitch strike. Zach, what have you seen from this offense that you like? Because, 14 hits, especially against a UAlbany team where they never mustered up more than 9 is really saying something.
You get so much veteran experience on the squad as the 0-1 goes outside for ball 1. So many seniors and super seniors to look out for. You see Herring, you see Rarich, you see McFarland, maybe even Noah McFarland's a freshman, obviously, but Nowakowski is also in there as well. All these players who knows what it's like to play for quite a while as Rarich draws ball 2.
Nuss.
It's actually Nuss. I forgot it's number 3.
Yeah, as you're saying, no shortage of experience on this Seawolves team. 6 of the 9 starters, upperclasswomen. 5 of them seniors, either redshirting as a result of the pandemic last year or true seniors. There's a core of 4 that this team really prides themselves in having, that being Herring, McCarville, Nowakowski, and Craig. Those 4 seniors really been here through and through for the Seawolves' ups and downs, and there's been a lot of ups over the past 4 years. As Nuss takes the pitch outside, works a full count with 1 out here at the top of the 7th.
Now not really expecting now Stony Brook to get the 3 runs they need to initiate the mercy rule. So,
well, again, wouldn't matter. We're already in the 7th, so UAlbany needs to score at least 5 to just stay alive in this one. They are the home team, so if they are able to outscore Stony Brook in the next half inning, they win the game.
Even with the 5 runs that they've gotten overall in this game, it hasn't yet matched the 8 runs that Stony Brook got in the top of the first, which means that those last 2 runs that Stony Brook has gotten hasn't looked completely necessary yet.
And this one swung and missed, strike 3. Jimenez went high, Nuss cut low, and swing and a miss there. And back-to-back Ks for Miranda Jimenez as she quickly retires 2 Seawolves. And with that, brings up the top of the order in Jordan Herring.
Jimenez being able to strike out the last 3 batters for Stony Brook, taking down Craig, Sanzone, and Nuss, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters.
Jimenez's 3 strikeouts, the most thrown by a Great Dane this afternoon. Garrett and Hammond had 1 apiece.
Probably one of the only bright sides for UAlbany today.
Yeah, Jimenez getting it done offensively, 1 of 3 with an RBI. And pitching-wise, as you said, no runs surrendered in her 2 2/3 innings of work, although she falls behind 2-0 against Herring. Herring with a swing and a miss. Herring swinging at the middle part of the zone as the throw dropped underneath, And Jimenez's drop pitch has looked very good this inning, Zach.
Yeah, Jimenez knows that what her teammates in Hammond and the others have
And
done.
Herring goes for a bunt attempt as she fouls this one. And goes behind her. Was close to stepping out the box there. It was fortunate the umpire didn't rule. She had stepped out. Would have been an automatic out. Either way, 2-2 count, and Herring takes and just able to stay alive as that pitch was maybe an inch or two off the plate, middle part of the zone.
The ball was just outside long enough.
Doesn't get closer than that. 3-2 coming as Herring cuts low with the swing and is able to foul this one all the way to the left field fence, out of play. And for Jordan Herring, 2 of 3 in her previous outing against the Great Danes. And Whiff Roberts is one of the best hitters as Herring takes the pitch inside. I believe it may have nipped her. May have gotten her on the right leg, so the left-handed batter is, or maybe the hip, as the left-hander is awarded first base with 2 outs here at the top of the 7th.
Yeah, so here's another reminder. Remember, our next broadcast is for Stony Brook Women's Lacrosse tomorrow as they host Towson in the first round of the NCAA tournament at noon. That's the first pitch. It's a called strike. So, should Stony Brook hold on here and win and then lose to UMBC tomorrow, their next game would be later that day against the loser of the possible game between UAlbany and UMass Lowell.
Is this pitch grounded over third base side? Throw over to Lewis. That one in time for the putout. And with that, the side is retired. So UAlbany down to their last half inning of work here, trailing 10-5 as we approach the bottom of the 7th. As we take a quick look at our play notes, just to point out, Stony Brook had no hits, no runs, no errors, 1 left on base, that being Herring's hit by pitch, and Baldrug coming in looking for her 19th complete game of the season.
So here's my thing, Ken. It's just Stony Brook hold on and win, which it looks like they're going to do. Play UMBC tomorrow and lose to them, then they'd be playing the loser of the Great Danes and the Riverhawks later tomorrow at 4 p.m. And it would give us time to do that game, but is our plan to broadcast that?
None yet, and a lot of preemptions going on. Of course, want to shout out and thank Scotty O, who's usually in the time slot from 3 to 5, who's okay with us preempting this, as well as want to shout out those at Mixed Nuts for preempting that show as well, which is usually on the 1 to 2 hour time slot, and Campus Connect, obviously. No Campus Connect tomorrow, so we'll only be doing women's lacrosse tomorrow, but again, should they advance, we have it penciled in that we're going to call the America East Championship game should Stony Brook make it that far. Again, a lot of action this week, as you alluded to, Zach. Women's lacrosse tomorrow, and it's no easy test for Stony Brook, facing Towson for the second time this season in what was a nail-biter victory the first go-around.
Yeah, and it was pretty much the first year that this was the first season that Towson played at a newly renovated lacrosse field for them. They may have had more time to get used to it than Stony Brook did, but Tigers will have to go back to Laval Stadium. The last time they both played each other there, last year in March, Stony Brook took that win 13-8.
As also fun to preview potential opponents there. Should Stony Brook advance, they'll face either Drexel or Rutgers 2 days later on Sunday, likely at Laval Stadium.
And Stony Brook wants to go beyond that, seeking their 3rd quarterfinal appearance in program history in the tournament.
As pitch taken for a strike by Love drum goal, as taking a look at her work today.
Stony Brook and Women's Lacrosse has 2 undefeated streaks on the line tomorrow. Actually more than 2, actually.
As 1-1 on the way, slap hit, fouled, goes straight back to Nowakowski as it crossed home plate. So Drumgole behind 1-2. And Zach, as you're saying, a lot on the line for Stony Brook.
3 undefeated streaks. One is at home, as they are 8-0 so far at Laval Stadium this year. The second is against Towson, in which they are 7-0 all time against them. And last but not least, is playing in round 1. They have always been undefeated in round 1. This is their 8th appearance. This is their 8th NCAA tournament appearance, and their 6th first-round game upcoming.
Yeah.
As the other 2, the Seawolves have gotten byes.
A lot of history for the Seawolves, as the 1-2 by Baldrug. This one swung on, hit hard, towards the left field side, and a great diving effort by Riley Craig, and yes, it is ruled an out. Great diving catch by Riley Craig, who was in between the third base foul side and the left field wall, putting her body on the line with the dive, and gets rewarded with a great grab for the first out of the 7th.
Well, from our video feed, we couldn't get a clear look at how Craig was able to get that live, but we have to imagine that was just freaking electric, and there is no doubt that she and the dugout are really enjoying it. They were fired up on that.
Had to dive and extend her body before it crossed the left field warning track out of play. That one was going to be either a foul or an out, as Craig, again, getting a big first out in this bottom half of the inning for the Seawolves. And with that, it'll bring up Alexis Phillips as the center fielder. Kickstarts the top of the order, appearing for the Great Danes. She takes the pitch outside. Ball 1. Slap hitter goes inside again. Both third and first base converge, Craig and Roderick, but that's unnecessary as Phillips takes the pitch for a strike. 1-1 count. And Phillips 0 for 2 with 1 run scored, that being drawing a walk and later scoring by Petrellas. This pitch fouled behind home plate, quickly behind 1-2. 2 strikeouts for Phillips.
Alexis Phillips is having a decent day. She is 1 of 3. Actually, she is 0 of 2 today. Hasn't gotten a single base hit.
I wouldn't say decent of your Don Bodrug, who has struck her out twice in this game. 1-2 taken outside for a ball. That was very close. It was low and outside against the left-handed batter.
We haven't really seen any players struck out looking today, believe it or not. All the strikeouts have come from swung on and miss.
That's a great point. You know, these hitters are eager to swing. 2-2, and Alexis with the cut, as Phillips is going to line this over the left field wall out of play, as that one was foul.
I guess that both of these sides don't want to show any signs of being frozen, rather than just keep the wheels churning.
Yeah, both teams, especially on offense, playing very aggressive, as Phillips with another cut, as she sends this one behind the area of play. No, as you were saying, 8 strikeouts for the Great Danes, 5 for the Seawolves batting. None of them have been strikeouts looking. Only 3 runners left on base by the Great Danes today, 7 by the Seawolves, but that hasn't really mattered as the Seawolves have sent 10 runners across home plate. As Phillips again with a cut, she tips this one foul past the right-handed batter's box, out of play.
It was pretty close for Nowakowski. Probably just a little too late to try and react on taking a chance and trying to catch that one. Pretty close to making it look like a foul tip or foul out, but she was just too late to react.
Bodrug with the windup pitch. This one hit hard towards center field, as getting under it is McCarville. That was in shallow center field, as Herring was on the run to get under it, but McCarville called her off, and immediately the Great Danes are down to their last out of the contest. Stony Brook with a 10-5 lead here in the bottom of the 7th, as Caitlin Mitros will be the last line of defense for the Great Danes in terms of keeping them alive.
Her line of defense has been pretty thin so far today, as she is just 0 of 3.
And immediately she'll take a pitch, low and away for a ball. Taking a look at that box score, again, 0 of 3, 0 of 3, 0 of 3. That's your 1, 2, and 3 hitters for the Great Danes. 0 of 9 combined between Phillips, Mitros, and Petty. Zach, what do you think about their struggles? As this pitch is swung on, tipped foul.
Well, they haven't gotten down the base hits that they wanted today. They just really wanted to look for more than that, especially in games where it's all or nothing. Well, right now, today it's not all or nothing. Today it gets more to all or nothing.
And Mitros showing bunt as she pulls back and goes for the hit, but doesn't swing at that pitch outside, middle part of the zone, but well outside the plate. 2-1 count for Caitlin. As this one is hit towards shallow left field, and that one's going to drop in for a single. So Mitros breaks the 0 for 9 skid for the 1, 2, and 3 hitters as she gets a 2-out single on the 2-1 count, and that will bring up Petty to keep this one going for the Great Danes as the right fielder Morgan Petty steps in the batter's box.
Well, that's that line of defense right there that she was looking for. Mitros finally getting her first hit of the game.
Number 3 hitter 0 of 3 in this contest takes a pitch for a called strike. That one straight down the middle. As again, another one outside just catches enough of the plate for a strike, and the Great Danes are down to their last strike of the game.
They would like a grand slam, but even if there were bases loaded, they would still be down by 1 if they...
And pitch 139 from Bodrug. This one's popped up towards shallow center field. Getting under it is the second baseman, Kyra McFarland, and that one will do it. Stony Brook taking the Game 1 victory over the UAlbany Great Danes, 10-5.
What a fantastic win for Stony Brook. It all starting off by being able to put out that 8th spot in the top of the first, and apparently, despite the near comeback attempt by UAlbany, that's all that Stony Brook needed. Getting all started off with Rodrich's 2-run homer to left field is just really everything that Stony Brook asks for.
Let's break that down even further, Zach. Again, this is a team who, facing the Great Danes earlier, did not score more than 2 runs against them in a single game. They were shut out in one, lost 1-3 in another, and lost 2-6 in another. So from there, they managed to put an 8th spot in the top of the first off of a 2-run home run by Melissa Rodrich, a RBI double by Nowakowski, a single up the middle, bringing home Nowakowski by Craig, a Julia Sanzone single, a Jordan Herring single, and a Kyra McFarland sacrifice hit. So, I mean, an absolute effort, and that's something that's a credit to the entire lineup. As you said, Zach, all 9 of the Seawolves hitters got on base this afternoon.
Yeah, and that's the running power that they're really looking to try and keep building on, using that veteran experience to their advantage big time, and they're going to need a lot of that when they take on UMBC tomorrow. Yeah,
a big test for sure. Let's get some final numbers for you. So, win number 16 for Dawn Bodrug. She is 16-7 on the season, and Zach, she pitched phenomenally today. This did give up 5 runs, however, 8 strikeouts, 30 batters faced. She was able to get 11 to fly out, and only 1 to ground out. And despite giving up 3 extra base hits, again, only gave up 6 hits in total and needed 138 pitches to do it.
Yeah, we know that batting has really been a real big strong strength for Stony Brook, and there have been games this year where there have been problems to watch out for it, but even with the 5 runs that Bodrug has given up today, that still did not stop her from getting the win that she really needed.
Yeah, the loss going to Wendy Hammond, who falls to 10-5 on the season.
Never
only
recovered
lasted
after that.
a third of an inning, gave up 7 runs, 6 of those earned, 6 hits, 1 strikeout, a wild pitch. Only faced 8 batters, but in that gave up 3 extra base hits, including the home run. That only took 38 pitches. Jimenez and Garrett closed out. Combined, they gave up 3 runs. Really, it was Garrett who gave up the 3 runs, as well as a couple of walks, 4 strikeouts, and they faced the remaining 30 batters. As with that again, it leads to another exciting matchup for Stony Brook, as the number 3 seed takes on the host seed UMBC Retrievers in what is a rematch of last week's regular season finale, where UMBC took 2 out of 3. Now, we don't expect Courtney Coppersmith to be in the circle starting off the game, although it's fair to assess she probably will get some playing time. Don't know the status of Dawn Bodrug. We expect Melissa Rodrich to get the start in tomorrow's game. What are you looking forward to the most, Zach?
I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with the batting for both teams, because since the number 1 pitcher for both teams may not likely be used tomorrow, that could give way for both teams to get a little strong batting. And for Stony Brook, they are looking to replicate what they did today.
That's an excellent point. We'll leave you all with that. With that, this has been America East first round softball action live on WUSB Stony Brook, 90.1, 107.3 FM. For Zach Wilson, I'm Ken Fermin, wishing everyone a great sports night. And don't forget, we'll be back on the air tomorrow starting at 11:45 a.m. to host the Stony Brook women's lacrosse game against Towson in the first round of the NCAA lacrosse tournament. Can't wait to talk to y'all then.